Good evening. I'm Theresa and this is Forum Daily for Wednesday, October 2nd. We begin tonight in Israel with a response to Iran from Israel's prime minister. Benjamin Netanyahu says Iran will pay a price for Tuesday's missile barrage against his country. That's after Iran launched at least 180 missiles into Israel, which were mostly intercepted with the help from the U.S. military. The attack and the promise of retaliation by Israel has increased concerns that the Middle East is closer toward a regional war. Joining us now is Ashley Waxman-Bakshi, Israeli citizen and spokesperson. Ashley, thank you so much for joining us.
Hi.
Now, what do we know right now about the damage caused by the missile attack, and just how important is the Iron Dome in minimizing the impact?
So yeah, in fact, it's pretty amazing and pretty miraculous to see how, despite the fact that 181 ballistic missiles were sent from Iran to Israel, actually to heavily populated civilian areas, we were lucky to see no Israeli civilian casualties. That is obviously because of the Iron Dome and the other protective measures that we have. In fact, the only civilian that was killed from the Iranian attack was actually a Palestinian civilian, a Gazan man who was working in Jericho. He is the only casualty of the Iranian attack.
Now, this is now the second missile attack from Iran. What is the appropriate response on the part of Israel?
Iran is the head of the snake. We have seen how the international community, including the United Nations, and our allies have failed to. They've sat, idly by and seen how Iran has armed its proxies, has created a ring of fire around Israel. The October 7th attack was only, it's an Iranian proxy that launched that attack. On October 8th, the second Iranian proxy, Hezbollah in the north, attacked Israel for no reason, apparently claiming that it would stop, they've been claiming that they would stop sending rockets and missiles at Israel if Israel would stop a so-called genocide. That's merely incorrect. They were sending rockets from October 8th before Israel even had a chance to respond, while we were still counting our bodies from the massacre. Obviously, Iran is a threat not only to Israel, but as they like to say, America is the big Satan, Israel is only the little Satan. Iran is a threat to the entire region and to our partners, our Abraham Accord partners. And so I think a necessary attack, an attack on Iran is obviously necessary. It needs to be a strategic attack following the previous Iranian attack in April. Israel retaliated or responded in a very symbolic way, just to send the message to Iran that we can reach you even though you are 2,000 kilometers away, and only hit an anti-aircraft launcher. I think now the necessary response is long overdue, and international community should not only support Israel but should be a part of this. Nobody wants to see a regional war. Nobody wants to see this escalate. It's important to say Israel did not want this war. It did not start this war, but the West needs to show the radical Islamists of the region trying to create chaos in the world that the West is united and will stand together with Israel to eliminate this threat.
Now, there are several people from Israel agreeing with what you're saying, that an attack from Israel needs to happen, but there are politicians in Canada who are calling for Israel not to respond at all. What would you say to those urging Israel to do nothing?
Could you imagine if Canada was bombarded with missiles and rockets and drones, not only from one area, but from 7 fronts, from Gaza, from the West Bank, from Lebanon, from the Houthis, from Iraqi proxies and militias? These are all Iranian proxies. Could you imagine one Canadian politician after an attack like that saying, no, we shouldn't do anything? Just like Canada has the right to defend itself, Israel, the sovereign state, the UN member, has a right to defend itself and its civilians, and no Israeli civilian will be comfortable or satisfied living here if the head of the snake is not dealt with.
Now, we do just have about 30 seconds left, but Iran has said that it launched the attack in defense of its proxies in Gaza and Lebanon. Does this mean that a larger conflict is possible?
I think it's hilarious to say that they're claiming to even say that this is in defense of their proxies. Their proxies are the ones who started this war on October 7th. On October 6th, we had quiet. So I think it's absolutely a ridiculous claim, and nothing that comes out of the regime should be taken seriously. It's not only us that are saying this. We need to be listening to the people of Iran.